Sometimes we used to play pranks in the flight. It's like if you know there's a nervous passenger sitting next to you, we should start a conversation with somebody. अगर ये plane crash हो गया तो क्या हो जाएगा? ये हो जाएगा. And they start shivering and they're like,
You've done that.
we've done that earlier. Hi, this is Ajay Devgn.
Hi, this is Rakul, and you're watching PeepingMoon.com.
Ajay, Rakul, welcome to Peeping Moon.
Thank you.
Your trailer is an absolute thriller. We don't know whether you're talking about the flight or the landing. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. But in the meanwhile, I have a question for both of you. In 1975, when the Hollywood movie Jaws was released, people got scared to go into the water. Will Runway 34 make people scared of flying?
I don't know.
Because you've shown some very intense scenes inside.
We've been very real. We've been very real, and it's inspired by a true incident. So, Mark, the thing is that when we fly, we presume that everything is fine. It'll be fine. Everything is fine. I mean, statistics-wise, it's the safest way to fly. But there can be a situation, and sometimes there is a situation we never come to know.
We don't know. You've shown that.
Yeah, we don't come to know. We don't come to know, and if you feel a turbulence, also you feel it's fine. There's somebody sitting there who'll handle the situation. That's the captain. So you trust your pilot more than anybody else in this world with your life. But what they go through sometimes, and they don't even tell you about it because they can't tell you about it till it is very, very important that, brace or whatever till they reach that point. So there can be complications so many times. So many times we read that the plane took off and just landed back. And
But you don't know what happens. So that's my question to
So
you.
I
You
think-
got to show it inside.
Yeah, I would say that
The panic.
we've also seen car accidents doesn't mean people stop driving in films. And hopefully, like you're talking about Jaws from 1975, it was first of its kind, and even today we remember it as one of the finest films. I think that should be the takeaway.
yeah, and I'm sure that the next time there's turbulence and somebody's seen this film will start thinking a little more than what they think that is everything fine there.
Tell me, is it true that you were only going to direct this film initially? And then you were always on board as actor and producer? Okay. Because I read somewhere that it said you were only going to direct it, and I was wondering why you were not. How's Ajay Devgn as a director?
Fantastic. I mean,
Mark, you're asking her this in front of me, so obviously she's not.
Obviously, but even sir, behind you, I would say the same thing because it's very inspiring. I've been saying this in a lot of interviews that it's very inspiring to see someone push for more and wanting to direct something which is not an easy topic. It's not an easy film. To create those emotions in a very contained space, to try to achieve something different creatively, and at the same time act, and at the same time give the comfort that the film requires as a producer. So donning multiple hats is not easy. So it's very inspiring to see someone do that with utmost ease and in control of themselves. And I think that for me was, amazing to watch on set, how he just dabbled between different roles that he was playing.
How does Ajay Devgn direct himself?
Good question.
Yeah, so my answer is very, very simple. When, as a director, you work on a script, obviously you work on your characters, all the characters. Because as a director, you see your characters in a particular manner and you imagine them to be performing, and then you get into casting. So, and then you cast, and then again you work according to the actors, right? So, I think for me it gets a lot more easier because when on script level I'm grooming all my characters, I'm grooming my character also, not thinking that it's me. So when I groom those characters, I have groomed myself also. So it gets a lot more easier on set because the actor Ajay Devgn exactly knows what the director Ajay Devgn wants.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think that works for me.
Have you changed as a director since Shivai? That was about wide open spaces, and this is, and you're in a very confined area.
It depends from script to script. More than wide open spaces, that was too high. So, yeah, the that was something which was very difficult to shoot, and in a different way. And the kind of action and shots we had designed and we had thought to do it, actually it's impossible in that terrain. So we achieved that. In this film, there's a lot of drama in a very confined space. That is also very, very tough because if you're talking about a cockpit, I didn't want a cockpit larger than what it is. And the size of a cockpit would be what, 7 feet by 7 feet or something. And creating a lot of drama inside so that it doesn't get monotonous. Also, you have to create a lot of camera moves and angles and things like this. So that was something which was very challenging, which I really enjoyed doing. And in spite of being in a cockpit, we had 7 to 8 cameras inside it, with cameras moving also inside. So we created a way to do that.
Tell me, are you familiar enough with the cockpit to know if you're on a commercial flight, go inside and sit comfortably in the pilot seat? Would you know everything?
I can sit. I don't know
Would
if I
you know
can
on the
fly.
control?
I'm sure
Yeah,
she
yeah,
can. We know the
Yeah,
basics
yeah, we
because
know
we
the
went through the
basics.
training.
Yeah, we went through the training. We know the basics. I made notes at that time. First day, I was like, "What? How am I going to retain all of this?" Because they're complicated terms. And then we had a couple of days of training. We had a captain on set as well to guide us through every shot. But yeah, I think I can. I fly a plane. I don't know if I can land it.
Oh,
So we've tried to keep everything very, very authentic. Even the cockpit had all the real equipment, and the computers were fed in exactly the way in the film the flight is supposed to behave at that point of time, and in that kind of turbulence, in that kind of storm, in that kind of weather, how a flight would behave and what readings will come up. They were all fed in exactly.
What blinkers, everything.
But did you all also interact with the original crew of that flight to get a sense of the
No,
trauma
not
they went
really.
through?
Not really.
No.
So we are inspired by the incident, and it's nobody's personal life in film.
okay.
So that is something we didn't need to do.
Tell me, as a kid, every boy dreams of wanting to be a pilot.
Yeah, in our age, definitely. I
a
don't know about today,
policeman
but
or a fireman.
yeah.
Now they don't want to be policemen; they want to be Singham now. So were you also on that line of wanting to
I
be a
mean, I
pilot?
knew everybody around because it's a very cool job. It looks very cool also. I mean, there's a certain dignity and respect to it. For me, no, because I was always brought up in this industry. So I knew that I am somewhere, I belong here only. So that question was never there for me. But it seemed very fascinating to be a pilot.
For both of you, what is more intense in the film? The flight scenes or the legal drama?
No, it's basically the film is all about turbulence. Turbulence in life. Turbulence can be in midair, turbulence on ground, and how, as human beings, we tackle turbulence. So basically, the film talks about that kind of turbulence.
But there is the legal drama involved in
Yeah,
it.
so that is also turbulence.
That's
That
your
is also
mental
turbulence.
So but that also is pretty intense.
And that is all, and there also is a certain mystery where you know that till the end you don't come to know that why things happened and what are the reason behind why the actors were doing what they were doing.
My next question is for you. You've always been a style horse in life on film, okay? And a scene stealer. How is it to be restricted to just a uniform?
No, it's great. You're not restricted actually. What you wear doesn't define.
Yeah, but the uniform looks very good. And
Yeah, I think it
She looks good in the uniform, or the uniform looks good? Both.
No, I think anybody looks good in a uniform. I think uniform just gives you that, adds to your personality. And I love being in the uniform. And besides that, I think the role itself has such a wide variety of emotions, or the ups and downs itself, that what I'm wearing really doesn't, change anything about Tanya's journey.
You all have taken several flights in your career. You'll fly more than the average person. Have you all ever suffered any kind of incident that has been kind of memorable? You have?
Yeah, that you don't want to remember. Yeah.
Yeah, you have?
Yeah.
Where is that?
So I was on a 80-hour flight, and it was a 1-hour short flight, and there was heavy turbulence, and then the craft, because it's a smaller one, just dropped about 3,000 feet.
Wow.
So I just started praying, and everyone in the flight, actually everyone, because it's a smaller craft, you can also see how everyone's reacting, right? So everyone was like, "Oh God, koi kuch shuru kar diya, kisi ne kuch shuru kar diya." I was also like, "Why?" I started praying. So yeah, after that I decided I'm not going to sit in an ATR.
What about you?
I've had turbulences, a lot of turbulences, but nothing that worried me too much. Sometimes we used to play pranks in the flight. It's like if you know there's a nervous passenger sitting next to you, we should start a conversation with somebody. अगर ये plane crash हो गया तो क्या हो जाएगा? ये हो जाएगा. And they start shivering and they're like,
You've done that.
we've done that earlier.
Tell me, you were asked about the name of the film by Runway 34, and you compared it to the Runway of Life.
Runway of Life also, and also the film connects. The whole film revolves around that the captain chooses. So every airport has an angle of a runway. So if sometimes on an airport there are multiple runways, sometimes there's one runway, and that runway has two numbers. So if it is runway 34, that means it's 34. That means it's like at a 340 degrees angle, and the other side of it would be runway 16 or something, you know.
Okay, that's
So that's the angle. So the whole film revolves around that this man chooses the wrong runway, the runway which you're not supposed to choose and which is the most dangerous runway. And why does he choose it? That's the film revolves around runway 34. So that's why I thought this was the apt title.
But you had compared it to life, you know, you said
It is the runway of life.
zero,
also.
zero visibility, no
Yeah.
vision.
Yeah, because as I said, the film is all about turbulence,
Yeah.
not just in midair, on ground also, and then how you handle yourself on a runway of life.
So let's say you, as the captain of this flight, I were to ask you, somebody is going through turbulence in life, you know, and they just need you to talk to them about it and tell them to stay calm, and you'll come out of the situation. What would you tell them?
I don't know. It depends on what the situation is.
Anything. People panic. Whatever.
I mean, in a flight.
No, in real life.
In real
No,
life.
in real life, you actually said that you have to be in control of yourself, and you can only be in control of yourself when your mind is in control of you. So keep your mind in control, because you can start if you start thinking, it can open a huge box and you can just start thinking everything negative in mind. So you have to get your thoughts right. That what worse can happen, and you have to act accordingly. If you're not in control of yourself, you will not be able to act accordingly.
Thank you very much. Good
Thank
luck
you.
with the film.
Thank you.